Liverpool.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Cot Council. How are we all? Hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, this is more of an injury update stream, if you want to call it that. And that is that Alisson Becker and Thiago Alcântara are both doubts for the Arsenal game tomorrow. We will be talking a lot about, what does this mean? What can happen tomorrow? Who's available, who's not, and, many more things as well. We'll also be talking about things that have happened in the Premier League today concerning majorly Leicester versus Manchester United. We will talk about them for sure. Also, as well, if you guys have any, things that you want asking, or we'll just chat away in the comments with one another about anything that you guys want to talk about majorly, or you guys want anything being talked about in terms of transfers, in terms of this game against Arsenal tomorrow. So we will chat about that. But if you could do me the massive favor and please give this video a like. It's massively appreciated if you could do so. Also as well, if you're new to the Cop Council, then please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to enable notifications, because YouTube hate notifications. That's all my sayings then. Let's say hello to a few of you in the chat. Seamus Moore's in. How are you, sir? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Data is in as well. Hello mate, and very nice to see you in there. And also thank you as well for sharing out the streams and that, and on Twitter and things like that. I do very much appreciate that for sure. Doug is in saying good evening, nice to see everyone in here, and let's celebrate Manchester City losing 5-2. All crying laughing faces. Pep is a bold fraud. He is. He is absolutely a bold fraud. Jeannie in Liverpool, how are you? Hopefully having a fantastic day, mate. Evening Reds, Mo. Oh, I think it's Mo. Oh, hello, Mo. You've changed your name. Doug says, Manchester City, you Muppets. Yeah, they are Muppets. Data says, good evening to Doug. Seema says, City got smashed. Absolutely, yes, they did. They did get absolutely destroyed today. Obviously, Doug saying good evening to Seamus as well. Jeannie, Mo says the guy is a fraud. Yeah, he is. Doug says hi to Data, and then to see us with the crying faces of Doug, also saying good evening, Doug, and also Data saying City with crying faces. Yes, guys, please leave your comment in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about Manchester City losing 5-2, sorry, to Leicester City. And the one thing I would say, straight away off the bat, congratulations to Leicester, because they fully deserved that. First 25 minutes, Manchester City pinned them back, and they tried very hard to get that second goal. But then obviously, then Leicester outplayed them then for the rest, the first half and the second half as well. Completely deserved the win. And if Anthony is in here, at any time or does watch this anyway, well done. Thank you for taking 3 points away from Manchester City, because, you fully deserve it. And, I know a couple of people go, oh, you got 3 penalties. They were well-deserved penalties. Let's not be mistaken here. They were penalties. There was no, it's not like, Everton, Crystal Palace, when there's, debate about them. They were clear and obvious penalties, in my personal opinion anyway. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below before we do get into the Thiago and Alisson Becker, reports anyway. But Doug says Wolves got beat 4-0 by West Ham. Yes, I saw this. I'm screwed in fantasy football. I am totally done in terms of that, because I had Connor Cody at centre back. So yes, I am buggered. Doug also says Roma beating Juventus 2-1. Very interesting. James, how are you? Hopefully having a fantastic day. My friend says, if Liverpool are training tonight, should we get news for Thiago and Alisson? I will be talking about that in literally about 10 seconds, mate. So I will answer your question there and then. But Seema says, how much is that City defence worth? Conceding 5 at home, not great. We will talk about the prices of that as well. And Seema says, apologies about Claude's stream. I meant to be on tonight. I think it's being rescheduled for Friday evening instead. So there we go. I know that Doug was meant to go on there, but apparently there was difficulties anyway. But yeah, let me get on then to the news. Then I think all of you are here for the video. Obviously watching it on repeat and not live, and that is Alisson Becker and Thiago Alcântara. Now, of course, this morning, waking up to the news of, Jurgen Klopp could be without Thiago Alcântara and Alisson Becker for the Arsenal game. And, this was concerning everyone on Twitter, worrying and, what's happened and things like this. And, could it mean that both of them are out of the game and things like this? But, I wouldn't be too worried in that aspect of things because, if I can quickly get it up on here right now, going on to the article then that was put out by Paul Joyce, and that was, speaking about Jurgen Klopp could be without Alisson Becker and Thiago. Thiago and Alisson are both doubts for the Liverpool game with Arsenal tomorrow after being unable to train fully. Now, I would say fully by here because they've trained. So what I understand, they've trained a little bit, but they haven't trained as full as full on first team training yesterday anyway. And of course, it says the rest of the Klopp squad. The Liverpool manager is now awaiting an update for their availability with the backup goalkeeper Adrian on standby to dispute should Alisson be missing out. So big news there in terms of Paul Joyce, updating us all with Thiago Alcântara and Alisson Becker there. But as it said there, they haven't trained fully, but they have trained a little bit. So they will, as I understand it anyway, and what I've read on other pieces of articles as well, they will be having their fitness test tomorrow morning, and then it will be decided then practically tomorrow afternoon whether or not they will be fit and available. But in my personal opinion, I think both of them are going to be fine for the game. I think, we've seen, if you guys watched the Leicester game, a few of their players did run out towards the end of that game. Maybe fitness, was crept up because, of course, the, congested fixtures and the congested seasons. Then realistically, that's what happened. What has happened over the last couple of months. Maybe that's caught up on a couple of players for sure. But for me personally, I do think that them two players should be fit and available. I think Ali will be okay. Maybe, because of course we know Joe Gomez is back and fit and available to play Arsenal for sure. And I know, I predicted, if you guys haven't checked out the predictions, then please go and check it out. I did it with Diesel from Claude and the Bants. That I said that I think Fabinho will be centre back for the game. That was my personal opinion. Now, if maybe Thiago isn't quite ready for that, then maybe Fabinho will be put back at defensive midfielder and Joe Gomez will be put at centre back. So either way, Liverpool are covering themselves, perfectly then in that aspect of things, and keeping up with, it's quite brilliant realistically in being the sense that two of our players are injured then realistically, or could be injured, and we can just replace them with talent. I know that there's probably not that much difference to what Fabinho would do if he was to play defensive midfield compared to Thiago in that aspect of things. But as I know, I was speaking to a couple of people earlier on, and they were saying the drop off between Alisson and Adrian is quite plain to see, and true. Alisson's a world class goalkeeper, but I think that Adrian, let's not forget this, Adrian. He was brilliant last year, exactly at this point of the season, first couple of games of the season, being called in to, be brought in for Alisson Becker. Of course, Alisson getting injured last season as well. And, he did a fantastic job. And I don't think Liverpool would have won the league without him, quite frank. And I think that, to be awfully honest though, I think that I'd be fine if Adrian had to go in, but, especially from what's happened today with, Manchester City not getting 3 points, I personally do think that, it's the perfect time to capitalize, make sure everyone is fit and available. And even if it was an 80% Alisson Becker, put him in goal against the top team. And I do think that could be the crucial thing for Liverpool, potentially winning the league title anyway in that aspect of things. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts anyway in the comment section down below, and I will read out all of your thoughts and your opinions anyway. But in terms of James's comment when he asked if Liverpool are training tonight, should we get news for Thiago and Alisson, my answer to that is no. You're most likely going to hear whispers and rumors tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, whether or not both will be in. Practically, if you see any news of like team hotel stuff and you see Alisson there and you see Thiago there, then both of them should be in the squad to play against Arsenal tomorrow anyway. But yeah, guys, like I said, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Anyway, Doug said, oh, I already read this one out. Genie in Liverpool. I'm going to call you Mo because I know it's Mo. Title race with Everton will be fun. Hashtag Lord Origi. Yeah, it would be nice. You know, Divock Origi scoring the winning goal against Everton to win the league. That would be kind of nice. Doug says, yeah, I'm looking forward to going on there. That's concerning clothing the pants. Data says, I'm not concerned. I think we will win without them both. Yeah, I'd agree with that in the sense that, you know, our squad is that much better now than what it was, you know, going back a couple of weeks ago in the sense of, you know, just having the likes of Thiago Jota and Thiago Alcântara in the squad by itself and boosting that morale. I think that is a perfect thing for Liverpool anyway. But Seema says, I think they will undergo fitness test tomorrow. Yep, we just said that. Data says, it could be mind games. Klopp is a genius. That is very true. You know, and I was speaking to Doug earlier on about this, and, you know, maybe it could be mind games in that aspect of things because if you guys remember, I think it was not last season, the season before, when I think De Gea was injured or something like that for Manchester United, and Solskjaer kept on playing mind games with us, saying that he doesn't know whether or not Solskjaer was not Solskjaer, that De Gea was going to be fit or not, and he was. You know, we all knew he was going to be, and Klopp called him out for it, and I thought that was brilliant. But yeah, Genie in Liverpool, and all right, I'll call you Genie in Liverpool now. Adrian and Gomez, and we will smash Palmyang FC. Yes, I do fully agree with that. I'd be more worried about Thiago with Henderson already out. Yeah, yeah, that is the only shame of the game is the fact that this game is too short for Jordan Henderson. You know, Klopp said well, he was hoping Henderson would be fit and available for the game, but sadly Henderson is out. But yeah, I do fully get what you mean by that, mate. I think that Thiago, as we saw last weekend, you know, against Chelsea, adding that extra element towards Liverpool midfield, and, you know, just absolutely blitzing teams, you know, with his style and just completely dominating the games. That's what I think that he adds to the team. And instead of, like, you know, the teams trying to defend our wing backs, you know, now they got to defend against Thiago that can put a ball across, you know, or over the top, for example, anyway. But Genie in Liverpool says Hendo is the one Hendo is the one for me. Doug says, honestly, people actually forget we were without Alisson for 10 games last season. That is very true. And we lost how many games? 0. Yes, that is it. You know, at the end of the day, I think people have forgotten, you know, how good Adrian was for us last year, you know, in being the sense, like I said, you know, without him, we wouldn't have won the league. You know, I personally think if we'd still had Mignolet, for example, I don't think Liverpool would have been winning the Premier League title last season for sure. Magic is in. How are you, Magic? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. My friend says, I hope Taki Lad will come on and score. By the way, hi, mate. Hi to you as well, mate. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. And yeah, let's hope Taki can come on because, you know, I don't think anyone has him in his starting 11 predictions. And I think that, you know, especially from what happened in the Lincoln game, he was absolutely superb in that game. And I think that, you know, if you can transform that, you know, against Arsenal, you know, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I would very much enjoy Takumi Minamino scoring against Arsenal. Doug says, remember remaining calm, sorry, and not going effing crazy like other people on Twitter. Yes, people on Twitter, like we talked about, people on Twitter are idiots, and, you know, they will always remain idiots. But Seema says, I still think even if Thiago is in the squad, it will be Fabinho, Genie, and Keita in midfield. I'd be happy with that. I would honestly be happy with it. You know, I would just like it to have Thiago in the team. You know, he just brings a smile, and like he brings that same feeling of when, I don't know if this is for anyone else. If it is, please let me know in the comments. But, you know, remember when we first signed Alisson, you know, into the team, and it was just every single video or every single thing you saw of him just put a smile on your face. And I think that is the same with Thiago Alcântara. And, you know, I just love, watching him on the ball. It's fantastic. Doug says, like, share, and subscribe to the COP Council. Yes, if you could do all of them, that'd be massively appreciated. So, thank you if you have done that already anyway. I do very much appreciate it, as always. Data says, Lord Origi, lol. Yeah, per a crown on Divock. Jeannie in Liverpool says, put Doug in goal and we will be fine. Yeah, Doug, if you're free tomorrow, travel down to Liverpool, and I think Klopp would want a conversation with you. Dave is in. How are you, Dave? Hopefully having a fantastic day, my friend. Says, hi, Reds. Prediction 2-0 Liverpool. Like I said, if you haven't checked our match preview show, sorry, I've gone for a 3-1 Liverpool win tomorrow anyway. But Doug says, hi, Dave. Manchester City. Vardified. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm glad Doug's not in the stream, not actually like on here, because yeah, I freaking drive. I remember like one time we were in a call and Doug was literally doing like dad jokes, and it was like, ugh. Data says I go 3-1. Yeah, same as me, mate. I think that's what the scoreline's going to be. Dave says they sure were, Doug. Yeah, they sure were. Jeannie in Liverpool says people in Twitter are idiots with a tick. Yeah, they are. They are very, very much idiots. Dave says, Doug, your jokes are worse than. I think these guys worse than mine. There we go. Yeah. We should do like a one night like stand up comedy thing, or like write like a book of how many bad jokes we've said in like group chats and that. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, we do. So honestly, guys, that is literally all the Thiago news for you and all the Alisson news. Realistically, it hasn't been said yet, or it hasn't been reported. What are the concerns in terms of fitness wise? It might be, a thigh injury, or, Alisson, with his calf, I believe he's had thigh and calf problems over the last couple of, especially last season. So fingers crossed that isn't a recurring thing, because if that is the case, then that doesn't look good in terms of him being a goalkeeper and constantly, diving and things like this for the ball. So, fingers crossed, Ali and Thiago will be okay. But Liz is in as well. How are you, Liz? Says Douglas loves a pun. So does Dave. Yes, they bloody do. They absolutely love puns for sure. But yeah, we did say we would talk about, Manchester City, and let's just go on about Manchester City, because for me they are. They're frauds for me, and they've been frauds for a very, very long time. Especially last season. And I think it was Gary Neville today. He mentioned it on Sky Sports, I think, when Leicester were like 4-1 up, and he was going on about Guardiola, and he said that nobody would question Guardiola in that aspect, and no one would question, one of the greatest managers ever in the world. I don't think Manchester City fans are like that right now, even though there are a lack of Manchester City fans. But, it's one of these things where no one's really saying anything about it, and what I'm realistically talking about is this. Andrew Beersley saying, Manchester City have lost 10 of their last 36 league games. Liverpool have lost 10 out of 128. That's ridiculous, mind. That is a phenomenal stat, which I thought was very, very, well, I just thought it should be shared to you guys. And as you can see, they're Owen from the cop on saying wonderful. I love that. To be fair, I absolutely love that. But yeah, just that stat in general, being as it was, people don't criticize Pep Guardiola like they do as Liverpool. And I think if it was the other way around now, say this season, for example, Liverpool ended up going, let's say, 20 points off the title, for example, after doing a 97 and a 99-point season. If Klopp had done the exact same as what Guardiola does this year, Klopp will be called out for it. Why isn't Pep Guardiola getting called out for this? He has lost again. And it's not all right, it's the start of the season, things can happen, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I fully get that. But, going back last season, they lost 9 games last year, 9 games as defending champions. I think they had one less loss than Arsenal did. And it was one of Arsenal's worst ever seasons. Why aren't, the pundits and the critics criticizing Pep Guardiola? I don't care how many trophies you've won over, Barcelona and, at Bayern Munich. People should care about what he's doing right now. Jurgen Klopp, for example, took 5 years, right, to build this Liverpool team. He took forever to build this Liverpool team in some people's eyes. For us, we were happy with it because we could see the progression. We could see Klopp taking us from doubters to believers. And for some reason, people have always criticized Klopp. Even when Klopp has said, this team isn't ready to challenge, and he said it in the past. And then when Liverpool were able to challenge, when we didn't win the league title, Klopp said, this won't be the first time that this team challenges. It's only the first time that this team's been able to challenge. And we challenged very, very well, getting to 97 points. And Pep, this is the toughest test in Pep Guardiola's, managerial career. And at the minute, he's failing. He is failing to beat Klopp. He's never had the tough task of facing a manager like this. He had to face Klopp in Dortmund, but let's be honest, that Dortmund team, it was failing. It was failing, and it was going down. And this is why it ended up Klopp being, ending his job at Dortmund and things like this. Right now, Jurgen Klopp is the best manager in world football. That's, maybe arguable, with the Bayern Munich manager at the moment, even though they lost, I think today, I think Doug's actually said it in the chat, but said it's been a weird weekend. Bayern were mullered 4-1. But yeah, it's for me, I just don't get why Pep Guardiola isn't getting criticized. And even on Sky Sports, they kept on saying, the players, they had bad performances and things like this. Yes, but that it hasn't been, like a blip thing. It's been, a constant thing now from last season. And they put all the blame onto Laporte's injury and that, and not having centre backs, which is fair enough. That's fair enough. That is a proper reason. They didn't have enough centre backs. They had to play Fernandinho at centre back. But you've just signed Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. And you've had like all of, I know it's such a short pre-season, but you've had all the time to get him to play as your style, and you haven't done it. And realistically, Kyle Walker, Eric Garcia, and Benjamin Mendy are your own defenders anyway, and you still couldn't defend good against Leicester. And that's no disrespect to Leicester, of course, but it's just constantly, they never criticize Pep Guardiola. And in my opinion, it's time to start criticizing him because, yes, he's won trophies at Barcelona. Yes, he's won trophies at, both Bayern and Manchester City. But even the top class managers can start to dip. And I think that is what's happening with Pep Guardiola at the moment. And I'm saying this right now, he won't be at Manchester City next season. That is my personal prediction for next season. He won't be Manchester City's manager next year. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on that after my little rant, about Pep Guardiola and that. But I do think I am strong about this. I do think people need to start criticizing Pep Guardiola because they just don't criticize him enough, in my personal opinion. But yeah, what else do we have? Data says Everton's trophy room caught burgled. Cops are looking for a blue carpet. I like that. Dave says 50-50 or both. I think that was with what we had to say about puns. Dave says, thanks, Liz. I love a pun, hun. Yeah, Dave does love a pun. I think Dave and also Doug, they're all so crazy on puns. Sorry. Doug says Leeds versus Manchester City next week too. That'll be interesting. If he loses that, he's done, in my opinion, as a top, well, not a top manager, but you know what I mean. Doug says hi to Liz as well. Seamus says City have signed Ruben Diaz as well for 60 million, another overpriced defender. Oh, we will get on to prices now. That will be, another thing, that I will be mentioning now in a moment. But Doug says, yes, 100% well said. Thank you, Douglas. Douglas, if it's anyone, Pep, but Pep get criticised. Yeah, exactly. And this is what I've been talking about for a very long time. For me, he's not getting criticised at all, and it's very frustrating, in my personal opinion. Nice pep talk, Connor. Thank you, Dave. I like to talk the Pep for sure. Liz says, I think Klopp has more inklings to hug people and smile, whereas Pep is nasty and looks like he wants to hit you rather than hug you. Yeah, I would agree with that. Jeannie in Liverpool says, Sky Q to Pep after losing by 5 goals at home for the first time in his career is tribute to Ottoman. Yeah, just it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. Sima says, conceding 5 goals at home is more than players having a bad game. There's a big problem at City. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that for sure. I keep hearing Sarr is still a possibility. I would say that's not the case. So practically what it was either going to be Diogo Jota or Ismaila Sarr, and Klopp and Liverpool went with Diogo Jota. We won't be signing Sarr this season. Apparently, I think Manchester United are looking at Sarr now because they can't get Sancho at the minute. So, I think that's probably their best chance at getting someone anyway. Liz says, when is Pep's contract up? I believe it's next season. Excuse me. I believe that. Yeah, I believe it's next season. If anyone knows, let me know in the comment section. But I believe it's next season. His contract is out. That was a good Pep rant. Thank you, Seamus. Yeah, for me, like I said, I think everything that I did say is pretty much true. In what has been, a very bad couple of years for City. Doug says this season, oh, there we go. This season, it does run out. Jack is in. How are you, Jack? Hopefully having a fantastic day. My friend says hello, everyone. Hello to you as well, Jack. Hi, Liz says data. Jack says, hope you're all having a lovely night. Have a fantastic night, mate. Hopefully having a fantastic night as well. Also, Jack, let me know as well. And let me know, anyone in the chat as well. Has anyone pre-ordered FIFA 21 yet? Or has anyone, done anything with FIFA 21 yet? Let me know that on that. Doug says hello to Jack as well. Liz says hi to Jack. Jeannie in Liverpool says, I crazy on bugs. Okay. Okay. Data says hi to Jack as well. Dave says, Sarr won't happen, mate. We got Jota instead, and Data as well. Data says, yeah, I thought that. Dave, yeah, that was practically it, to be honest with you. Mo says Pep was brought in to win the Champions League, and City have not been the same since Company left. That is true as well. Pep Guardiola has never gone past the quarterfinals of the Champions League under Manchester City. It just shows. It does just show, where Manchester City are, and it's funny as well. Pep Guardiola, he always says that Liverpool, like not Liverpool, for example, he always says that his team is not ready for the Champions League and not ready for, to compete in that aspect of things. And I'm like, why? Why aren't you ready? You've spent, $1 billion on your team. Why aren't you ready to actually challenge for the Champions League under this Manchester City team? You've got Raheem Sterling, you've got Sergio Aguero, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, that has been arguably the best midfielder in world football over the last couple of years. Why can't you challenge? It's just hilarious to me. And you say it today, Mo. Since Company left, they've never replaced Company, and they still haven't, realistically. And they've looked to sign Koulibaly, and they failed in that aspect of things as well. But Dave said Watford wanted payment up front for Sarr and Jota was installments from a trusted source. Yeah, that is true. Like we said, a couple of times, I believe we only have to pay £9 million for both Thiago and Jota in 2020. So, that was fantastic. But yeah, Dave is right in that. We would have had to pay in full for Ismaila Sarr anyway. Doug says, forget how bad City were. Leicester played really well versus City today. Jamie Vardy's second goal was filth, and all the pens were pens. Well done, Leicester. Well done to my Leicester. Well done to my Leicester. What a goal by Maddison. Yeah, that is true. And Dave also says Bio was happy today. Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the video, well deserved. From Leicester, they fully deserved to win that game. Like I said, the first 20 minutes, City were okay, apart from like Mahrez getting that really good goal. You know, that was outstanding, that goal. But then, you know, Leicester, they took them apart, you know, towards the end of the first half and completely, well, destroyed them in the second half. And I think that is what is crucial, you know, to, you know, potential top four, potential Premier League. You know, today's game, you know, answered a lot of questions, and you know, now it answers, you know, a lot more, but it also asks a lot more as well in terms of Manchester City and both Leicester. Can Leicester finally get in the top four this season? You know, that would be a question I think Bayer would, you know, love to answer. To a Florence there. Data says no, but will buy FIFA 21 on the day it's released. There we go then. Dave says answer to FIFA 21 is no. I know, Dave, you don't like computer games or FIFA in itself, but Genie in Liverpool says he is waiting for Messi and FFP to disappear. Yeah, he's not getting Messi at Manchester City. Like, it's too expensive, and plus with FFP, you know, finally they might step in that aspect of things. I think Messi will end up signing a new contract at Barcelona, because there's no way they can afford Messi's contract. That there's completely no way. Apparently he's earning like $1 million a week, you know, in terms of actual contract, and then bonuses. That's crazy in my opinion. But Doug says Pep Guardiola has spent £2.41 billion on defenders at all of his clubs. Another reason he is a bold fraud. There you go. That's a perfect stat there for realistically what is going to be the next point to what I wanted to mention, and that was, and if I can quickly, you know, bring it up on screen for you guys. There we go. You know, another Dave, you know, there's Daves everywhere, but, you know, he works, you know, practically mainly Liverpool, as you can see. But they, you know, tweeting out plain and simple, Guardiola has spent 345 million on defenders, and I had to like that. You know, I thought that was, you know, perfect in that aspect of things. But the other thing then, as you can see, you know, but they, and if I click on it, it says Diaz coming in will bring Guardiola's spending on defenders to over £400 million. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, when you think about it, remember when Manchester City fans kept on saying, oh, you've got, you know, the Man United equivalent of Phil Jones, you know, for Virgil van Dijk, and us paying 75 million for Virgil van Dijk. And, you know, when you look at it now, it looks as cheap as chips in compared to Diaz, because they are overpaying for him, as someone mentioned in the chat earlier on, I believe. I actually can't remember who it was, but someone did mention in the chat that they're overpaying for him. And yeah, they are. They're overpaying for players now. And, you know, 60 million, like, so if you watch, I think it was it Double or Nothing, or the thing on Amazon that Manchester City did a couple of years ago, and they were like, oh yeah, friggin', if you look at like club records, you know, we haven't spent the most on a goalkeeper, we haven't spent the most on a defender, we haven't spent the most on a midfielder, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yes, that's true, but the amount that you're spending is shocking and ridiculous. And for it to be 400 million, that's just shocking in itself. Like, I think Liverpool, I think on all of our defenders right now, we have currently spent less than 100 million pounds on our defence, and we're currently Premier League champions, world champions at the minute. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think, you know, we talked yesterday on an Arsenal channel. You know, I haven't linked it in this. You know, go and check it on Twitter. I did link it all yesterday. And you know, we spoke to and Carl from the Copite as well was on there as well. And you know, speaking about, you know, how Liverpool have, you know, should be the role model of football in terms of how they've done business and things like this, and how they've, you know, transformed themselves by doing good business. And for me, Liverpool have just been, you know, the role models in that aspect of things. And Manchester City, they are just shocking in the amount of their prices. But then they'll always get away with it because of FFP. And FFP needs to change, in my personal opinion, to ever, you know, get them to be banned from a Champions League or get deducted points from the Premier League, and for them to get properly punished. And realistically, but guys, let me know your thoughts anyway. Let me know anything that you guys want to talk about anyway for the last 5-10 minutes, and then I'll be heading off then. But yeah, let me read a few of your few more of your comments. Liz says, "Got to run. Need to get hubby fed before sundown. Your kipper tomorrow. Blessing to all of you and anyone who has offended against you." Okay, see you later, Liz. Hopefully have a fantastic rest of your day. Doug says, "I'll speak to you soon, Liz. Have a great day." Data says goodbye to Liz as well. Seema says, "It's happened, Chelsea. They spent a lot of money when Abramovich brought the club. They were good for a few years and then dropped off. Are all the players more interested in big wages than actually performing?" That's how it is. That's how it is. But to be fair with Chelsea, they've sacked a manager. And that was the trend for Chelsea, wasn't it, for years after, Jose Mourinho and that they had Ancelotti. I think he won the treble in the season, then won another cup, got sacked. They brought in another manager, they won trophies, and it was everything like this, wasn't it? And yeah, it's just crazy, if I'm being awfully honest with you. Jack says, FIFA 21, not yet, yeah, Jack, you getting it on PS4? If you are, then I'll happily face you on FIFA when it's out. It's out, I think, next week or the week after. As you say, Unbearables, then. How are you, Unbearables? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Yeah, hopefully you're well. Doug says, "Connor, how many defenders that Pep have brought at City have been successful?" Laporte. Can you class Laporte? Laporte as a successful signing? Maybe, but apart from that, no one. Look at right back, Cancelo. Did Pep bring in Walker? I think he brought in Walker. Maybe you could class Kyle Walker as being that as well, but I personally wouldn't watch them anyway. But Jeannie in Liverpool says, "Good evening, everyone. You never walk alone." Good evening to you as well, Jeannie in Liverpool. And Bearable says, "Arsenal will be the team to push us this year?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know. I think it will still be Man City, but I think City will still be a way off us, especially after that performance today. But to be awfully honest with you, it could be Arsenal. It could be, an Arsenal or Chelsea or even a Leicester. They could honestly challenge us for the title this season, But I think that gap between second and sixth, I think that's going to be very, very close this season, especially from what happened. Because, of course, I know it's early days and I think Everton are going to finish seventh. Everton could challenge the top six this year, from how they're playing football. So, it's a possibility this year. Anyone could challenge anyone, and that's the joy, realistically, of the Premier League. Seema says Laporte has been the only decent defender, but he is injury prone. There we go. That's the same answer as I said. Jack says, "P.S. Yeah, boy, easy win with a winky face." I'll give you a game, Jack. I'll give you a game for sure. Doug says, "Guys, how many defenders City have brought in?" There we go. Doug's asking the same question to the people. Then realistically, Seema says, "Agreed, Seamus." Unbearable says, "I'm going to give Pep a miss this time. The man still graving for his." Jesus Christ, I'm correcting yourself. Well, I did say, I went on a little bit of a rant. If you guys want to check out the rant, if there's any new people coming into the stream, please go and check that out. I did it about 10 minutes ago. So, just go back a little bit and, my rant will be exposed there. But yeah, in terms of the title of the video, we're saying about Thiago, talking about Alisson as well, them two being injured out. I personally think they'll be fine for tomorrow. I think they should be raring to go as well, because it's such a big game. It's at Anfield as well. We always love playing against Arsenal at Anfield, and I just think no matter who plays as well, I think Liverpool will still get the job done tomorrow. And realistically, I can't wait to see the Reds play. it feels like forever since they haven't played, and it was only a couple of days ago. So, I just can't wait to see the Reds play, Premier League football anyway. But Jack says 400 million on defenders alone. Pep is a fraud. Yes, he is. Yes, he bloody is. Pep is a massive fraud and should be. He should, like I said, he should be called out upon it, but sadly he won't be called out upon it, and I don't know why. Patesh is in as well. How are you? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Says, in some ways, I wanted City to win today, so they are put in a false sense of security. They go and buy Koulibaly, and now as the window is open, well, practically to that, they're not going to sign Koulibaly now. Apparently, well, this is why they're signing Ruben Diaz from Benfica, because they can't get Koulibaly, because apparently Napoli won £75 million for Koulibaly, and Manchester City have said no to it practically. And also as well, I think personal terms as well, they couldn't agree personal terms. So, maybe Koulibaly could see the wreck happening, realistically. But Kale's in. How are you, sir? Hopefully you're on a fantastic day. Says, do you think Leeds United might get into a Europa League spot? Potentially, by the way they're playing at the minute, especially if they beat Man City next weekend. They can definitely be challenging for that. We've all said how good Wolves have been over the last couple of seasons. Wolves today lost 4-0 to West Ham. That's crazy. West Ham have struggled for goals, and they've managed to get 4 against a very good Wolves team. So, who knows? The potential, well, the possibility of it. Sorry, it could happen for sure. And maybe they might challenge for it. Who knows? But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on that anyway. But the test for me is the yes, Pep. You can, yeah, defo, mate, defo. Simo says the European places are going to be interesting this season. A lot of teams will be up there. Yeah, I do think that. I think the top 6 will probably still be. Yeah, I think the top 6 will be Liverpool, probably City. I'm going to go Leicester. I think Leicester, I'm going to go with 3rd. Probably Arsenal then. Are Chelsea going to finish at the top 4? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But, it's going to be the usual larkies anyway. But, and then it'll be between, Everton, whoever's not in the top 4, Everton, Wolves, Leeds, for example. It's going to be a lot of teams in that midfield battle, and it's going to be a good midfield battle this season for sure. Unbearable says, what's your lineup for the game? So what I did say in our match preview show, I said Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Virgil, Robbo, Thiago, Keita, Wijnaldum, and then the front 3. But if Thiago and Ali are out, probably I'd move Fabinho up into midfield and play Joe Gomez at centre back, and then Adrian then at goalkeeper. That's what I think anyway. So, potentially anyway. But if both are fit, then I think that is what's going to be the lineup anyway. But Kale says, can we hijack Sancho to United? Maybe. If it doesn't happen in this transfer market, then yeah, I think we could next year for sure. Because, excuse me, everyone goes on about, you'd have to sell one of the front 3 to finance Jadon Sancho. I'm like, do we? Do we have to? So, excuse me. Yeah, I don't think we'll have to. And possibility, maybe one of the front 3 might want to move on and challenge for new things. So, yeah, I personally think that, yeah, I think Sancho could be a possibility of a hijack, but, Man United will probably get him if things go worse in the Premier League anyway before the window shuts. Unbearable says Franks will be sacked next month. Maybe. Patesh says, as you're a Welsh lad, are you happy Bale is back in the Premier League? Yeah, I'm happy for him now that he could get game time. Now, I don't think he can play until October now because he's still injured at the moment. But yeah, I'm happy for Bale that now he can, hopefully play some football, especially in time for the Euros as well, because of course Wales and Euro 2021 now as it's going to be. So, hopefully he gets match fit and hopefully gets some goals, for Tottenham, as long as it doesn't involve, messing up Liverpool. I don't care, but hopefully he can get up his match fitness anyway. Tata says Mbappe next summer. Yeah. Hashtag put hashtag Mbappe 2021 in the chat right now, because it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. Kayla says, I can believe MSN. I think you meant can't believe MSN is gone. Yeah, it's one of these things, isn't it? Maverick says Sancho will look at that next summer transfer. Yeah. The thing is now it's whether or not Liverpool want to go for Sancho and whether or not Sancho wants to move to Liverpool. I feel, because I feel like if he wanted to join Manchester United desperately, as well, all the reports are suggesting, then for me, I think that he'd already be a Man United player right now, and for me, this England's there that he doesn't want to join Manchester United, so. For me, I think maybe Liverpool could be the destination. But Doug says hashtag Mbappe 2021, and Data as well, hashtag Mbappe 2021. I love seeing that hashtag, to be fair. Tesh says, forgot Sancho will kill the league with Kylian. Yeah. Imagine both of them signing in the same summer as well. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in to tonight's video. I do very much appreciate all you guys commenting, liking, subscribing. I do very much appreciate it, and thank you all for tuning in towards the video as well. But if you could do me the massive favor and please like this video, it'd be massively appreciated if you can do so. And also as well, if you're new to the COP Council and watching us for the first time, then please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to enable notifications as well. But I'll read a couple of more comments. So if any of you got any quick comments, then please leave them in the chat right now, and I'll leave. I will read them out a bit quickly, and then I will head off, as I can see a few of you commenting quickly. Maverick says Sancho can't come this season because we are packed already, but next season will be different. Yeah, exactly. Kale says, are there reports that Haaland are going to Liverpool next year? Don't think Haaland's coming to Liverpool, to be awfully honest with you. Tuck says, hashtag Pep is a bold fraud. Yeah, absolutely. And Bearable says, hashtag Mbappe 2021. Don't you love Nike the money? Yeah, I do. I think that's going to be a thing, to be awfully honest with you. Patesh says, love you, comma. I think you meant for Connor, but yeah, thank you, Patesh. I love you too. But yeah, Douglas, he put Pep as a bold fraud. Yeah, he is. He's a massive bold fraud, for sure. And then Data says, see you later. See you all later. Yeah. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. Like I said, to tonight's video. It was meant to be just a quick half-an-hour stream, but just talking to you guys about Thiago and Alisson, being doubts for tomorrow's game. Also talking about, Pep being a fraud and that, and talking about that Manchester City game, and just chatting with you guys as well. So I do very much appreciate chatting to you. Hopefully you do like the videos and that, and let me know once the video is up, from after live streaming and that, and after watching, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you to everyone that has viewed. Like I did say, I've been Connor from the Cup Council, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully, when Liverpool have beaten Arsenal in the Premier League. But yeah, I'll see you all later, Reds.